Weep not, weep not. She is not dead. She's resting in the bosom of Jesus. Heartbroken husband, weep no more. Grief-stricken son, weep no more. Left lonesome daughter, weep no more. She only just gone home. Why, day before yesterday morning, God was looking down from his great high heaven. He was looking down on all of his children, and his eye fell on Sister Caroline. She was tossing on her bed of pain. And God's big heart was touched with pity, with everlasting pity. So God sat back on his throne and commanded that tall, bright angel standing at his right hand, "Call me Death." And that tall, bright angel cried out in a voice that broke like a clap of thunder, "Call Death! Call Death!" And that voice echoed down the streets of heaven till it reached way back into that shadowy place where Death waits with his pale white horses. And Death heard the summons, and he leaped on his fastest horse, pale as a sheet in the moonlight. Up the golden streets Death galloped, as the hooves from his horses struck fire from the goal, but they didn't make no sound. On Death rode to the great white throne, where he waited for God's command. And God said, "Go down, Death, go down, down in Savannah, Georgia, down in Yamacraw, and find me Sister Caroline. She's borne the burden in the heat of the day. She's labored long in my vineyard. She's tired. She's weary. Go down, Death. Bring her to me." And old Death didn't say a word. He just loosened the reins on his pale white horse and clamped the spurs to his bloodless sides. Out and down he rode, through heaven's pearly gates, past suns and moons and stars, leaving a lightning's flash behind. Straight down he came. And while we were watching around her bed, she turned her eyes and looked away. She saw what we couldn't see. She saw old Death. She saw old Death coming like a falling star. But Death didn't frighten Sister Caroline. He looked to her like a welcome friend. She turned to us and said, "I'm going home." Then she smiled and closed her eyes. And Death took her up like a baby as she lay in his icy arms, but she didn't feel no chill. Then Death began to ride again, up and beyond the evening star, into the glittering light of glory, and on to the great white throne, where he lay Sister Caroline on the loving breast of Jesus. And Jesus took his own hand and wiped away her tears as he smoothed the furrows from her face. And the angels sang her a little song, and Jesus rocked her in his arms. And he kept saying, "Take your rest, take your rest. Weep not, Weep not. She is not dead. She's asleep. She's resting in the bosom of Jesus.